Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dominique Nicole, and in today's video I'll be sharing with you all products that I use regarding my skin condition, which is called hidradenitis suppurativa, or some people call it or refer to it as HS. If you haven't checked out my first video regarding HS, I talk about what it is, how I got diagnosed, my surgery, and just my overall story regarding HS. I'm going to leave that video down in the description box. Make sure that you check that video out first and come back to this one. Okay, so I do want to say that I don't use any of these products in like a particular order, or I don't use these products every single day. It's just things that either I used over the years or things that I am currently using. They're products that I use myself and products that have helped me. I do see a professional, I see a provider that has also helped me as far as my condition. So I do recommend that you see a doctor before using any of these products to make sure that you are not allergic to certain ingredients or things like that. So that's just a big disclaimer that this is what I use for me. I just want to share with you all maybe some recommendations that you may not know that has helped me and helped my skin. Okay, so first I want to start off with some shower products that I use. I have some products right here, and then some products I'm just going to pop on the screen of it so that you can kind of see what the products are. So the first product is Dow antibacterial soap. I actually use this every single day, and I've been using this for a very long time. This is the orange soap, and I'll pop a picture up on the screen. This has helped me out tremendously, just cleansing my skin, things like that. I also use a cleanser that one of them I started using, when did I start using? I started using this last year, I believe, but this is actually from my dermatologist. Basically, it's a facial and body cleanser, and it has benzoyl peroxide in it. So I use this from like my dermatology, but something very similar to this, because this also has benzoyl peroxide in it, literally the same percentage, is 10%. So it's like very similar, is this panoxyl. I think I pronounced that right. I'm not sure, but as you can tell, I used it. I used it and it definitely helps out. So this is also a really good cleanser as well. And then another one that my dermatologist recommended, so this is something that they provided at their office and I purchased it there, is this CLN Clinically Clean Body Wash. And it says it's for eczema, acne, and infection for your skin. It says a gentle daily formula, but I only use this 2 times a week on my affected areas. So if you haven't watched my last video, you know that my affected areas are like my armpits, my growing area, and like the back of my leg. And those are where I make sure that I apply this, like cleanse really well with this. And I usually use it like 2 times a week. You don't need much of this. Like literally this lasts me a long time. Make sure that I exfoliate my skin. Whenever my flare-ups go down, a lot of times they leave like a mark, like a dark mark. So it's like a lot of hyperpigmentation or just like dead skin in that area. So I always like to make sure that I exfoliate, and I do use the Tea Tree Hut, not Tea Tree Hut. I use Tree Hut, the brand Tree Hut exfoliating, and this is the Moroccan. They smell so good. I love, as y'all can tell, I use it faithfully, but it smells so good. It has your skin like baby soft, but this helps me just like exfoliate, remove all that dead skin in that area. But I don't use this until my flare-up is like completely closed and it's pretty much just dead skin. You don't want to use this while you have like an open flare-up, because it's probably gonna burn. So I don't do that.
Y'all, I started editing this video and I noticed I forgot to mention a couple products, so I'm just going to throw them in right here. One is the Veet hair removal. I don't use razors besides on my legs. If you have this condition, more than likely they will tell you not to use razors. So I use this, and I also go get wax as well. I go to the European Wax Center because they use a hard wax, which is just better to me. Again, I don't go whenever I have a flare up, but once it's healed, I go. Less hair is always better to reduce moisture. This is the deodorant that I use. I have been using this deodorant since my first surgery. This is a roll on deodorant. I have tried to use the white powdered regular deodorant that everybody uses, but it just cakes up and causes a flare up. I haven't had any issues with using this band deodorant. White towels is something that my surgeon recommended when I first got diagnosed. I am not sure if this even works. I've just been using it ever since, so I'm just going to recommend it to you all. I know a lot of colored towels and colored bath cloths have a lot of dye in them, so this may be helpful, who knows. But let's get back into the video.
Another thing that I use, this is not in the shower, but we're gonna move on to like after we get out the shower or we're treating the wound, anything like that. Some other products that I use is peroxide spray. I've used this for a very long time, ever since I got diagnosed, or just peroxide. I like to use the spray because I like to like actually spray it on my flare up. So this is very helpful. I forgot to bring it over here, but they're like pledges. It's pretty much like little wipes that you will wipe after you get out the shower. You will wipe in your affected areas, and it is prescribed by my dermatologist, that I've been using recently. Have been using ever since I've been diagnosed, is some type of like antibiotic ointment. Whenever I get a flare up, I make sure that I put antibiotic ointment on it like as soon as possible. At first, I wasn't seeing a dermatologist, so I literally just got antibiotic ointment from like Walgreens, CVS, some type of pharmacy. And the one that I had been using for a long time is this one from Walgreens, and it helped. As y'all can see, that it's pretty much out right now, but I had been using this for a really long time, and every time I got a flare up, it pretty much went down. I use a different prescribed ointment now since I've been seeing my dermatologist. This one right here, I will put the name across the screen on the one that I use, just from that I picked up from my pharmacy. It's not expensive, but the one from my dermatologist, it is expensive. Again, make sure that you check with your dermatologist or your provider, your doctor, to make sure that it's something that you can use, but it has helped me out a lot. As soon as I put the ointment on, I make sure that I cover it with some type of bandage. So whether it's big, I usually use like a gauze pad or a band-aid. I have all sizes of band-aids. I always keep gauze pads in my bathroom, band-aids. I always keep those in stock because I always need them. Okay, so another product that I like to use, well, I don't use it often, but this product is something that I've used in the past whenever I had like really big flare-ups, and it's the Cleanse. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I'll post a picture up here of what it looks like. But they use it a lot for like surgeries and things like that, and just cleansing those areas. My previous surgeon recommended that to me, so I purchased it. And like I said, it's not something I've used in a really long time, but I do like to keep it on hand just in case I do get, like a really big flare up or something like that. I kind of like just cleanse it with that. I've seen some people where they use it like 1 or 2 times a month in their affected areas. And my dermatologist did recommend me this product, but this is something that you can just buy. I bought mine from Target, but it's this Gold Bond body powder. It's kind of like baby powder, but like medicated, and it absorbs like the moisture like from like sweating and things like that. During the spring and summer months, my body just absorbs a lot of moisture. So I like to keep things as dry as possible, especially in my affected areas. So a lot of time, if I know I'm going out somewhere or just out for the day that I know I'm gonna have maybe a lot of like sweating, or I'm gonna be outside or something, I like to put this on in those affected areas so that it can stay dry as possible. So I just put it underneath like my breast area or like in my growing area so that it absorbs like the moisture on it. And you can kind of see that it's literally just like white powder. Another thing that kind of changed within me being diagnosed with this condition is clothing. Clothing is a big thing with this condition. As your underwear, you don't want to wear anything that's going to be like cutting, especially if your affected area is in your growing. So I like to wear boy shorts a lot, so that's something that has helped me. And wearing cotton, it's also something that your doctor more than likely is going to recommend to you, and my dermatologist also recommended to me, is to wear like cotton underwear. And also to, if you have a flare up, make sure that you're not wearing anything that's like really tight and causing a lot of friction in those affected areas. So if I have a flare up, I make sure that I wear like loose clothing, things like that, that's going to make me feel more comfortable, at least until like it goes down. So moving on along, another thing that I am doing for my condition is I am now on medication. I told you all in my last video that I was on medication. I'm on an antibiotic, and I'm also on spironolactone. My provider, I don't remember exactly the date that I started taking spironolactone, but since I've been on the medication, I do feel like I see a lot of change. I feel like my flare-ups, the amount that I was like getting flare-ups, I was getting them like every week, and I don't get them every week anymore. So I do feel like the medication is helping a lot with my flare-ups. Again, make sure that you consult with your doctor on this. The spironolactone, you must drink a lot of water. First, I feel like my dosage was really high, and I was taking it 2 times a day, but I started feeling like crazy symptoms, y'all. My lower back was hurting really bad. Increased my dosage, and right now I'm still continuing taking it, and I feel like it's working. So those are 2 medications that I am taking that's helping me out. Another thing I would say is the foods that you eat. Of course, I feel like with any condition that you have, it's going to be foods that we eat too that can make it worse. So inflammatory foods can make it worse because with these cyst like flare-ups, there's a lot of inflammation that's backed into it. So you don't want to overconsume on foods that's going to make it worse. So some things that I did change up is like my dairy. I try to stay with like almond milk and things like that. I do struggle with the cheese. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I know y'all see me cooking. I know y'all see me cooking, and I do struggle with the cheese. So that's something I have to work on. It's just trying to find like those alternatives as far as the inflammation and things like that that can make you like flare up. I just know personally, I felt like whole milk made me flare up really bad, so I changed to almond milk. So just try to find those things that you think may make you flare up, but there's no like specific food for everybody that makes them flare up. So it just depends on your body. Another thing that's really hard and that people don't really understand, because they're like, oh, we need you to make sure that you work out and of course eat good and things like that. Working out when my condition was at its worst was really hard for me, because when you work out, you're sweating a lot and sweating makes it worse. So that was so hard for me. I remember I was going hard in the gym every single day, going hard. I had 2 flare-ups, y'all, appear underneath my arms. And they got so big that I had to have surgery immediately. And that's where that second surgery came into effect. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, you want us to work out and then I still gotta have surgery. Like, that was so frustrating to me. So when I do have like a really big flare up, I try not to work out. I just try to do like a rest day. But when I don't have a flare up and I'm doing good, I try to go in. So as soon as my flare up come about, I try to just rest, make sure I stay dry as possible, and I just work on my diet, I guess. So that's another thing. It's just exercising is important. So you know your body. Everybody knows their own body. So do what works for you and not what everybody else is doing. So that's what I had to do. I found it a struggle to like work out with my friends and other people because the days that they work out, I may have a flare up and I can't work out. And it's not the fact that I don't want to work out. I do want to work out. It's just I'm not able to. So do what works for you. You know your body. Don't try to compare to other people or anything like that because everybody's different. Everybody going through different things. And that's something that I had to learn myself. I think that is it, y'all, for this video. I hope that it was super helpful. I know a couple of y'all have emailed me with questions and things like that. I would love to hear more about people and their stories. And also, if you have products that you use or recommendations that have worked for you and you have this skin condition, please list them down below. It's very, very helpful when people are searching for this. I know when I first found out I was diagnosed, the first thing I went to was YouTube, and I was looking at comments, I was looking at videos, I was looking at everything. So I know that this can help somebody. So if you have the condition and you use something particular that has literally helped you so much, list it down below so that it can help somebody else. And I hope you all enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe, y'all. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm on the road to 1K, and I'll see you in my next video.